You know the Louvre in Paris, right? We all think of it as this impenetrable fortress of art, a place that's impossible to crack. But in 2025, that whole illusion was completely shattered by a heist that was as brilliant as it was brazen.
So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How on earth did a group of thieves manage to rob what's supposed to be the world's most secure museum in the middle of the day? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. Let's get into the incredible story of what happened on October 19th, 2025.
All right, first up, an 8-minute master plan. The whole thing kicked off at 8:30 in the morning. Yep, just 30 minutes after the Louvre opened its doors. And forget what you've seen in the movies. This wasn't some complex, high-tech operation. Nope, this was all about sheer speed and brutal efficiency.
So get this, 4 guys, dressed up to look just like construction workers. They roll up in a furniture lift truck, one of those cherry pickers, and they use it to get right up to a first-floor balcony of the Apollo Gallery. They chose the side facing the Seine River, which is kind of the quieter side. And because they're decked out in high-vis vests and hard hats, nobody even bats an eye. To anyone walking by, it just looked like another day of maintenance work in Paris.
Okay, so the plan was wild in its simplicity. First, 2 of the guys go up on the lift. Then, they take out an industrial-grade disc cutter, a really loud one, and just slice right through a thick glass wall. The second they're in, they basically threaten the guards with those same power tools and just start smashing open the display cases. They snatch the jewels, hop back on the lift, and bam! They're down on the ground jumping on scooters and disappearing into Paris traffic. It was just chaos and precision all at the same time.
Just look at that number, 8. 8 minutes. That's all it took. From the moment their truck pulled up to the second they were gone, the entire heist was over. It literally takes longer to make a cup of coffee. It's absolutely insane when you think about it.
And it gets even crazier. Of those 8 total minutes, how long do you think they were actually inside the Apollo Gallery? 4. Just 4 minutes. That's all the time they needed to breach the museum, neutralize the guards, steal a fortune, and get out. It's almost unbelievable.
So, the big question is, what did they take? In a room that's just packed with priceless treasures, what do you even go for when you only have 4 minutes on the clock? Well, let's talk about the stolen crown jewels. And this is the key detail. They weren't just grabbing whatever glittered. They had a shopping list. They went after 8 very specific items from the French crown jewels. We're talking priceless relics of 19th century French royalty. Each and every one is a legend.
Yeah, okay, so if you melted it all down, the gold and the gems are worth maybe a couple $1,000,000, but honestly, who cares about that? That's not the point. The real value, the historical value, these things are symbols of French history itself. They're literally priceless. You just can't put a number on that kind of cultural loss. It's gone.
But here's a little twist in the story. In their mad dash to get out, they actually made a mistake. They'd grabbed a 9th item, the incredible crown of Empress Eugenie. But one of them fumbled it, and they dropped it. It got pretty badly damaged in the fall, which was a costly mistake for them. But hey, it gave investigators one of their first real clues. Okay, but this is where the story really takes a fascinating turn. Because sometimes the most important clue isn't what was taken, but what was left behind. And what they left behind? Well, it changes everything we thought we knew about their motive. They were literally inches away from the Regent diamond. This is one of the most famous and purest diamonds on the entire planet, worth over $60 million. And they just walked right past it. Didn't even touch it. And that one detail told investigators everything they needed to know. This wasn't a random robbery for money. This was a bespoke job, a commissioned theft for some wealthy collector who wanted a very specific set of historical artifacts.
So let's get into how this was even possible. A heist this successful doesn't just point to clever thieves. It points to a security system that failed. And boy, did it fail. This whole thing put the Louvre's legendary security on trial.
So here's flaw number 1, and it's a big one. The CCTV coverage was basically a joke. Can you believe it? In the Louvre of all places, in the very wing that holds the crown jewels, 1 out of every 3 rooms had no cameras. No cameras at all. It's just a massive, unbelievable security blind spot.
And then there's this, which might be even worse. There was an alarm system right there on the balcony. It was supposed to go off the second anyone even set foot on it. But guess what? It was broken, out of order. So the guards had no idea anything was wrong until the thieves were already inside the museum. That delay was everything.
And look, this isn't just a rumor or speculation. French Senator Nathalie Goulet went on the record and confirmed it herself. She said, The localized alarm system had broken down a few days earlier, so their first and maybe their best line of defense was just offline.
All right, so after a massive national embarrassment like this, what happens next? A manhunt. A huge one. This heist was a huge blow to national pride, so the French police threw everything they had at finding these guys.
We're talking a team of over 100 investigators on this case. They scoured the entire crime scene, from the balcony to the abandoned truck, and they collected over 150 different DNA samples and fingerprints from everything the thieves left behind. Helmets, gloves, you name it. That abandoned truck was a forensic gold mine.
And all that painstaking forensic work, it actually paid off. Just 6 days after the heist, boom, they got a DNA match. The police arrested 2 suspects, and one of them already had a record for, you guessed it, gold theft. It was a huge break in the case. But, and this is the big but, the jewels are still gone. To this day, nobody knows where they are.
You know, you might think a heist this shocking is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, right? Well, wrong. The truly startling part is that the Louvre is no stranger to being robbed. This feels a lot like history repeating itself. I mean, just look at this timeline. Back in 1911, an employee literally just tucked the Mona Lisa under his coat and walked out the door with it. It was gone for 2 years. Then in '76, a priceless royal sword just vanished, never seen again. In '98, someone cuts a painting right out of its frame, in broad daylight. So this 2025 heist, it's not some crazy new thing. It's just the latest chapter in a long and frankly disturbing history of vulnerability. And that really brings us to the big, final question, doesn't it? With history as our guide, can anything this priceless ever truly be safe? This whole story proves that no matter how much tech or how many guards you have, a little bit of boldness, a lot of speed, and a couple of human errors are all it takes to bring the whole system crashing down. It really makes you wonder, what other treasures out there are just waiting for the next person with a crazy enough plan?